May 2008 at Aoyama Lunch Club. The title is Can You Read George's Mind? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take you back 20 years. It was 1988, and George was the chairman of the Alaska Pulp Company. I was his deputy. He was my boss, my mentor, and, as you'll soon see, a man full of surprises. Yet, despite working so closely with him, I could never quite read his mind. Allow me to share a few moments that reveal the complexity of George's character. One day, I was late for an appointment with him. "Sorry, George," I said, trying to lighten the mood. "Time is money for you, huh?" George replied with a smile. "No, I've got money enough to spare. What matters to a man of my age is time. If you are late, you're stealing my most precious asset. Time is life for me." All I could say was, "Yes, sir." On another occasion, George and I were meeting with a very expensive lawyer whose hourly rate was jaw-dropping. As noon approaches, the lawyer suggested, "How about lunch?" George, always quick with his wit, responded, "If your clock stops while we eat, let's go out. But if it keeps ticking, we'll stick to sandwiches at our desks." And so, sandwich it was. Now, who exactly was this man named George? His life was a roller coaster of challenges and triumphs, far beyond what I could have imagined. His real name was Shigeru, but his primary school teacher found it difficult to pronounce. Born on George Washington's birthday, he earned the nickname George, which stayed with him for life. George worked hard at UCLA, University of California, but his life took a sharp turn when the stock market crashed in 1929. He lost his entire family fortune, which he had invested on Wall Street, and that was only the first time he lost it all. A decade later, the attack on Pearl Harbor led his internment in a camp in Wyoming. Once again, he lost his business and fortune. In the camp, two opposing groups emerged. The No.9 boys refused to fight against Japan, while the Yes boys were willing to fight for America. Which group did George join? Neither. With his deep understanding of both American and Japanese cultures, George became a mediator, bridging the gap between the two factions and the camp managers. After the war, George moved to Tokyo as part of the occupation forces. His skill in negotiation and interpretation quickly earned him recognition. Nippon Steel Company hired him as an advisor and interpreter for their business dealings with Australian mining exporters. Through his work, George earned a substantial commission, which became the foundation of his wealth. he was soon regarded as one of the richest Nisei of his time. George's investments were as diverse as his life experiences. Among them was a cattle farm in Queensland, Australia, complete with eucalyptus trees, kangaroos, and even crocodiles. When I questioned the profitability of cattle farming during Australian recurring droughts and wildfires, George smiled and said, "Son, owning a cattle ranch in Australia isn't about business. It's about prestige. I made my fortune from Australian minerals. This is my way of giving back." Unquote. "All right, sir," I replied. George was a true global citizen. If you ask him, "Where do you live?" he would respond, "When?" One week, he'd be in Tokyo, the next in Hawaii, then Hong Kong, and so on. He owned homes and hotels in Tokyo, Palo Alto, California, Seattle, Alaska, Hawaii, Hong Kong, Cairns, Christchurch, New Zealand, and so on. He wasn't a postmaster, but he taught me one of life's most valuable lessons: the importance of time management. As I look back, I realize how much I learned from George, and yet how little I truly understood him. Thank you for your time and attention. And thank you, George,